What's going on, everyone? It's Josh Elbow. In today's video, I want to go over something that I've learned in my own social media marketing agency, what I've like, basically just what's worked for me, what I've had success with, and what I think you need to do to yours potentially. But raise your prices. Try doubling your prices between the consulting I do and the social media marketing I do. Raise them, double them, charge. One of the best marketing campaigns I ever had. I was charging probably $1,000 to $2,000 a month for the social media marketing, and I was only charging $1,000 a month for the one-on-one consulting, the coaching program that I have. And I put on my website $12,000 for like a 1-hour phone call, because I get a lot of traffic. A lot of people go to my Instagram page who like me, who don't like me. But the entire point of this campaign was because I know people like to talk. People like to focus on other people's money instead of just focusing on what's in their own bank account and making themselves more. So I put on my website, I said $12,500 for a 1-hour phone coaching call. And then I drew a bunch of traffic to the website. So when people clicked it, I heard stories from people that worked for me, from friends, from family. Who the hell does this kid think he is? Charging $12,000 an hour, people commenting, which helps the algorithm on Instagram, which helps the algorithm on Facebook, commenting what makes you think that you can charge this, like don't try and be something you're not. And I purely planned this all out before. I told people, like my people that work for me about it previously. But it was a marketing campaign, organic traffic, and it worked because like people like to talk about things aside from just bettering themselves. But the point of it was, it made me start thinking, how could I be worth $12,500 in an hour? Could I charge that if I knew the right target market, if I could market to the right people? Could I charge $12,000, $13,000, $20,000, $50,000 for a 1-hour phone call? If I can provide, if I said I got a guarantee, I got to put on $50,000, and it only takes me 10 minutes to explain how to do it, and it's a guarantee, I can charge, and let alone if it's scalable, if you can do it multiple times annually or multiple times in a 5 to 10 year period, I can charge $100,000 for a 10-minute phone call. I can charge $150,000, $250,000, depending on like how good of a fucking negotiator I am. I can charge multiple times that, because multiple times the cash flow on that, for a 10-minute phone call. The reason that most people like don't think that they're worth, they sell their time, they sell an hour of their time for what, $10 an hour minimum wage, $12 an hour, is because they don't value their time, and they don't realize that the money is an exchange of the value that you're providing. A job, if you're not, for simplicity, if you're in a job, the reason you have that job is because you provide value to the owner, who's providing value to the final end consumer. The end consumer is paying you through the owner. The owner manages, sets it all up, sets up the system, let's say. If you weren't valuable to that business, you wouldn't have a job. It's the same exact thing as commission sales. You're providing value. The more value you provide, the more you get paid. So if you can provide $200 worth of value in an hour, if you can provide $1,000, that's like why can anybody make phone calls and be on the phone for a half hour and make $5,000? Because it's the value that you're going to provide in that phone call. And then let alone if you're the owner itself, you can delegate and pay a fraction of that for the labor itself. Like just think bigger about these things. But the whole focus of it is, if you're doing SMMA or you're doing consulting, I want you guys to double your prices. The first deal I ever did for SMMA was, I want to say like January 2017. So going on 2 years ago. Not 2 years. Yeah, shit. We're at the end of January 2019. 2 years ago now. And I think we charged like $360 for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I was only making like 40% on this. So it was like an $8,000 a year package, something like that. I know the total was like $8,000 for the year, but it was a monthly payment plan. And it was like 3 years. It was like $600 maybe. Yeah, $600 sounds closer. Now most of the people I work with, it's a minimum of like $1,500, let alone for the consulting. The one-on-one mentorship program is now $5,200 for a 6-week training. So a little bit of a difference, but the same exact mentorship program, I've added more value to it, which I've shown more value out of it, which is why I can charge, instead of $1,000, charge $5,200. But the point of it is, if you can always think of a way to provide more value. So use that knowledge. Use this. I'm telling you right now, if you provide more value, if you're doing SMMA, and let's say you're charging $1,000 a month for a Facebook page, could you charge $2,000? What would you have to do? What would you have to provide them for it to be worth it for them to pay you $2,000? From now on, I want you guys, if you're charging $1,000, charge $2,000. If you're charging $2,000, charge $3,000, charge $4,000. If you're already charging $5,000, charge $10,000. and then you can scale back how much labor. Let's say you're doing it like a single person agency, especially, you can scale back how much actual work you're doing. Dan Locke talks about this. I want to say, you can make $1 million a year with 10 clients paying you $10,000 a month, 100K per, and so you're only working with 10 clients versus working with a bunch of for 100. Like you can grow your business. One, even if you raise your prices by 10%, you're going to grow your business by 10% annually if everybody stays. I'm not saying that's a scalable, sustainable business plan just to raise your prices, because there was a pharmaceutical company that purely their cash flow only went up because they raised their prices more. So you're not doing any R&D, especially this isn't the pharmaceutical industry, so that's more we have to worry about R&D in different industries. But for SMMA specifically, if you're charging 1,000, charge 2. If you're charging 2, charge 2.5, 3, 4. It's going to be less labor, let's say, generally. It's going to be less like hard work labor, but you're still going to get more reward out of it, and it forces you to become more valuable to the marketplace to be worth it for them. So I hope this gives you some insight. It's worked for me. If you were making $5,000 a month, let's say you're making $60K a year, could you double that to $120 just by doubling your prices, becoming more valuable? Could you provide $120,000 in value to the marketplace? Could you, if you're making $120 a year, could you be worth $250,000? If you're worth $250,000 and you're already doing $250,000, if you're already doing $100K a month in sales, what would it take to be doing $200,000 a month in sales? To be doing what, 2.4 annually? So just food for thought. I want you guys to think. Have some fun with this. As always, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. If you're in the mentorship group, leave a comment in the group so that everybody can see it. If you need to get a hold of me, DM me at TheJoshElbow on Instagram. Send me an email at summitsme@gmail.com. If you want to work with me one-on-one, the results have been amazing. So you guys have seen it. It's on my Instagram page. It's another mentorship program. I'll see everyone in the next video.